today is by Henrik Kuffner. And to give you a little background, Henrik Kuffner is a consultant in fashion marketing. He is mainly contracted by the German government. He is executing export promotion projects in Colombia, Argentina, Pakistan, and India. He is a lecturer in Pearl Academy of Fashion, Delhi, and at Kenz in Germany. So we welcome him. The presentations will take approximately 15 minutes each, and I'll give the presenters a 2-minute warning before your time so that we can remain on schedule.
Thank you, Mrs. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Going through an exhibition these days in Europe, in the US, wherever, you are listening to buyers from big stores. You probably will listen conversations like, I had again such trouble with the delivery from India. So probably the other one is answering, oh, I'm very fine, I just tried Bangladesh these days. You should try and go to Bangladesh. Or there are other cases like, Triumph, that very famous company, German company Triumph, they just stopped sourcing from Myanmar just because of the military government. And just the latest news that the Gap Group just stopped completely sourcing leather garments and leather shoes from India because of bad animal treatment of Indian cows. There are many similar conversations, cases, if we are going through exhibitions, and if you're just talking with people from our branch, from the fashion and so on. So you learn here that a single company of a country is not relevant anymore, but the country as a whole is a factor of buying there or not. Customers are not differentiating anymore between good or bad companies, but they are differentiating between good or bad supplying countries or regions. This tendency is indeed also increasing dramatically, especially after September 11 happening. Regions develop to specialize in certain productions. For that, the world textile and fashion production will be in future distributed and classified more and more in specialized fields. I call this department of production departments. As for example, we have the mass production of cotton products in Pakistan and Bangladesh, the silk products in China and India, handloom from Pakistan and India, sophisticated products as functional sportswear from North America and Northern Europe, denim from Tunisia, etc., etc. Countries' textile and garment sector should not try to compete in areas where they obviously do not have chances to win. They should concentrate in fields where they are good. So should Argentina or Colombia, for example, never try to compete against Asia. They will not have the chance. They just should try to put an extra value on the garments to try to survive in the industry. To survive in future competition, which will be much tougher than now, nations have to promote themselves. And there is a chance for every nation. The base for having success is that all members of the sector are working together. These sectors are governments, associations and federations, and companies. Government. They have first to work out the potential of the country's industries, analyze the nation's and strategic vision. This includes determining the following factors of the sector: strategic groups of nations and the competitive structure, assessing the nation's strength and weakness, assessing the nation's opportunities and threats, developing the nation's strategic thrust. Having the strategy, government should influence or support the development of the industries with its tools, like, for example, developing nations' investment policies, building industrial clusters, developing nations' industrial portfolio, developing nations' trade policy, developing nations' macroeconomic policy, and developing nations' institutional framework. This means that for the textile and garment sector, textile and garment sector, governments have to pave the way for the concentration of the area to the most possible success and push the sector with all available measures. Associations, federations, and lobbying groups. Associations and federations have to benchmark their sector within the global scenario. After analyzing the possibilities of the sector in the country, they also have to give the benchmarks for explaining the right track to the industry. This means they have to be honest to the members in the sector and inform them if there is no chance to compete against other countries, and not trying to keep them artificially alive in a sector where there is no chance for a long-term survival. This is sometimes hard, but it's better to be honest in the moment than just to suffer for years. They have to influence the companies with the right choice of seminars and tendencies to invest in the right direction. Associations have to stop to concern only about their own members in their own country. Associations have the new task to serve as a global window of the sector for their members, which they are representing. Only knowing the international context of the sector, they have the power to serve their members for the future scenario. Now, probably the most important part, the companies. Companies have to learn, first of all, that their neighbors in their own country are not anymore their enemies, but their friends and associates. They need each other to survive in the global economy. Together, they have a big chance to build up a reputation under which they all can live extremely well. Fact is, for travel budget reasons, as well as for synergy in handling, administration, and transportation, all buyers worldwide are concentrating their production and sourcing to a handful of places. If you, as a company, can offer only one very small part of a production range, customers will not come anymore to you, even if you are a good producer. It just does not make sense to come to one country only for one or two companies for a small range of products. Together with your national partners, you can complete the strength compared to others. If you have a foreign customer in your own t-shirt company, for example, you can offer him through your national colleague also a good sweatshirt production or a knitted pullover production. And it's much more possible that this customer is coming on a long term to you because the customer can concentrate on one region for many products. Times are definitely out where buyers were chatting throughout the world just to get in each country one or two products. Buyers are concentrating, they have to concentrate. They want to buy a certain range, a certain genre, or similar products in only one country or one region. Thus, manufacturers have to create within their collective forms to work together. Strategic alliances, partnerships, joint ventures, and cooperations are the four magic words. Frequently, they should work together even with the strongest competitor, which was the company which was the strongest competitor before. And do not forget, and this is the same what Mr. Strauss this morning was saying in his speech, do not forget, manufacturers have to invest in the future. Frequently, especially in developing countries, companies are not reinvesting in their production, which will lead in the long term in losing customers to other countries. Coming to the practical part of that presentation, what can you do? Promotion measures. Promotion could be executed, for example, in the following ways. The most important thing a country, a region could do, should do, is to create a label. Create an international marketing campaign, including the creation of a label which should be promoted globally. Build a positive image of your area of production, best by relating it to the culture of the strength of the area, the region, or the nation. Examples there are a lot of examples. Woolmark, which is a very famous one. There is Indian silk. There is a project going on in India which is called Indian silk. US cotton, Egyptian cotton. You know the new logo. These are all examples which are in the moment going on. The World Bank just is funding in India a new brand which is called Tirupur. Tirupur is the most famous knitting area in India, and is a large, huge project funded by World Bank with a label which is just called Tirupur. Here in Europe, there is this project going on, Masters of Linen. Perhaps you have seen commercials or advertisement, Masters of Linen, which means Masters of European Linen, which is a project funded by the European Community. And there are various other examples. Second possibility, and the base for all these other measures, is always that label. So the base is the label, and with the label you do other measures like make a promotion week. There's a very famous promotion week which is going on in India, which is called Lakme Indian Fashion Week. And there is in Selfridge, London, they are doing in a few months, in 2 months from now, they are doing a complete Indian fashion month in the Selfridge, in the famous London Selfridge store. They made last year Japanese week. So there are several possibilities to make promotion weeks in other countries, in their own countries. So this is one kind of promotion measure. To go with the promotion bus is just an idea. Why not sending the masses of linen bus throughout the country, throughout important countries for the products, just to promote. In US, these promotion buses are very, very popular and very, very successful. Advertising, PR, is very clear. Of course, with a label, you have to make each and every kind of advertising and PR best. You take just a famous fashion designer, and with a famous fashion designer, it's very easy to go public. You could make other events here. Best thing is not to try something by your own. Best is to take a professional agency to plan and execute different measures. Very popular to go to exhibitions. Regions and nations should make common stalls at exhibitions. It's still happening that some companies are doing very small stalls in exhibitions, which nobody is realizing this very small store. It's better if a region or a country is gathering to make one nice big stall, like a lot of countries are doing already. But now more and more even regions are starting to put together a common stall, like this Tirupur area in India will do in future stalls like that. Almost not mentioning anymore is that each region should have a homepage. Universities, companies have to work together with universities in their country to promote and research in the field of strengthening the sector. Especially in developed countries, this is a major point in survival of the industry. As only with sophisticated products and extra values you could make the industry more profitable. Only with skilled people you have the chance to put an extra value on your products. Corporations in many aspects have to be made. First of all, as already mentioned, companies have to get a new view about the national competitors, to accept them as partners for common success. Beside of that, also the different sectoral associations have to approach themselves for a common goal. All international activities have to be bundled. Cross-marketing, the three last points. Cross-marketing, which is very interesting. Cross-marketing means that you are making marketing of your region, of your product together with other areas. So for example, why not promoting Egyptian cotton, Egyptian fashion? If you are just going promoting Egyptian cotton, you could go also for Egyptian fashion, like best of cotton, best of fashion. Or for South Africa, for example, it would be very interesting. Like you know, in South Africa, wine is always half a year earlier in production than in other countries. So first in wine, first in fashion, which could be a cross marketing in South Africa. So there are hundreds of very interesting possibilities with tourism, even with the Ministry of Tourism or other sectors. Publicity and public relations, we just talked about. And the last thing indeed is very interesting, very important one, export promotion offices and international offices. These sectors should initiate export promotion offices for the respective part. This medium should organize and support common strategies and promotions for the industry. This is something like a tourist office. A lot of nations have tourist offices in other countries, but they never have, or very seldom, they have promotion offices for their industry. It's coming more and more. For example, Pakistan, they have a very interesting Pakistan promotion office, promotion bureau. Mainly developing countries are having this, and I'm always very surprised that not industrialized countries have this. And to summarize in three words, first, make sure that the three partners, government, association, and companies work together. Only together there will be success. Times are too hard and do not allow a single approach of each of them. Second, with a series of measures in promotion, countries could reach for a better reputation of their respective sector. And third, one fact is sure, with the globalization, the textile and garment sector in the countries will have much more competition. Only the organized and professional one will win. The future is a space of possibility. Thank you for your